Does it feel different maybe this year than it has? You know, you came in here a couple of years ago in the trade, and is there a different feeling, or is it the same frustrating feeling, even though there was some marginal improvement with wins and all that stuff?
It's a good question. I think it's still kind of the same. You know, we saw our game grow in a lot of areas this season. More wins than in the past. A few that I've been here, but at the end of the day, we're on the outside looking in by a long shot. So it's an empty feeling inside, a frustrating one.
Maybe you got a bit of an idea what to expect with Connor, just having seen him before he got here a little bit. But what are your overall impressions of him, the person, the player, after year one for him?
Great person. You couldn't ask any more of him in that regard for sure. And I don't know if you could ask more of him as a player either. He came into our group this year, into a struggling group as a young player with a lot of expectation, and overwhelmed a lot of us. He's a heck of a player and a heck of a guy to be around, and real fortunate to be able to play and enjoy his rookie season with him.
One of the things that seemed important to him was to not be treated differently than his teammates, despite the attention, whether it was media availabilities or just different things. Was that noticed by the group?
Yeah, I was. He's just a good kid, but I think he didn't make any noise in terms of all the autographs that he had to sign, and when we go on the road and all the people that wanted to see him, he was very businesslike, took care of it, and moved on to the group and wanted to be a part of it. And, I think Connor has a lot of attributes in terms of his playing ability, but I see him as a very good leader as well.
Think he could be a captain one day?
Absolutely, he could be.
Not quite yet.
Oh, I don't know. That's not a question for me, actually. But you've seen players at his age wear the C after their first year or so. But I know, no doubt in my mind, he would excel at it.
There's changes that are inevitably going to be made, perhaps with personnel, but contrast last year. You had Todd Nelson was an interim head coach. You know that Tom McClellan's going to be back with this group. Just the thought of maybe having that coaching staff, an experienced coaching staff, and if you think they can progress the minimal growth that was made during the course of the year.
Yeah, I think obviously without a doubt, Todd and his staff will be back. A very good staff. They work very well together, like you said. I think some of the things that they've brought to us that have rubbed off our work ethic, areas and abilities to prepare for games, and trying to be perfect in all areas, trying to become better as a group and grow as a group. Obviously, we're not where we want to be, but we have seen growth in a lot of areas, and we need to continue on that path.
And I don't know if it was out there, but Patrick Maroon just mentioned being on the U.S. World Team. You're going to be a part of that.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on taking that opportunity?
Last year in the Czech Republic, it was an exciting time. We had a team that was young, but we overachieved, and I'm sure we're going to have a similar team this year, and I look forward to that opportunity. And it's a tough time to go home not playing hockey with the playoffs going on. So for myself and for Patty Maroon, it gives us a little opportunity to extend our season.
Matt, you talked about the standards the coaching staff was trying to establish. When you guys went away from those things, why do you think that was?
Falling back on old habits. Habits are hard to break, and I think as a team that relatively young in terms of age, and a team that hasn't had relatively any success, it's easy to fall back on bad habits when times aren't going well, and in my opinion, that's 100% what happened.